What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy Jon 25. Today I'm going to do my AEW Dynamite review. And what's also you guys can do, hit that like button, hit that red button. Let's get started. Now, AEW was a real professional wrestling show. This was a good show. So that's all I got to say. The Wednesday, November 20th episode of AEW Dynamite kicks off with a shot of the Indiana Flamers Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana. As the Power episode, fireworks goes off in the view, and the fans chant AEW, while Jim Ross, the AEW commentary crew, run down some of the action scheduled for tonight's show. Nick Jackson versus Ray Finch. This match was good. I love this match. This match was good. This match was really good. After running down some advertised match and segments for tonight's, the Young Bucks theme music hits and the loudspeakers, and out comes Nick Jackson as a confetti bomb explodes for his fireworks. During his entrance, Jim Ross hypes this as a potential match of the year candidate before it even begins. From there, the Lucha Brothers music plays as Ray Finch comes down to the ring as fireworks explodes. During his entrance, Tony Schiavone hypes up Ray Finch as a performer. This highly accepted one-on-one showdown kicks off AEW Dynamite this week. As the bell sounds, the official kicks this one off. The crowd intensity picks up while the Excalibur informs us about the history of the Young Bucks / Lucha Bros feud to highlight the significance of this singles contest. Meanwhile, the action is fully underway now as Nick Jackson and Finch exchange reversals and move attempts in and out of the ring, canceling each other's attempts out one after the another as the crowd chants get going again. The announcers plug the previously announced AEW Bash at the Beach 9-day fan, while the pace inside the ring between Finch and Jackson picks up with the Lucha Brothers member gaining the first early offensive advantage. While holding on to Nick Jackson's hand, Finch leaps up to the top rope and bounces around the ropes, finishing by whipping the Young Buck member with the momentum taking him all the way out to the floor. Nick Jackson fights back. Once Nick Jackson fights back, he returns to the ring and getting some offense of his own before knocking Finch out to the floor and missing a big top rope somersault attempt. Both guys are down both men are down as the first. This is awesome chant break out inside Indiana Flamers Coliseum. Back in the ring, Finch with a crazy flip spot off the top rope connects on Nick for a near fall. Finch grounds the Young Buck member and now continues to go to work on him. Nick Jackson started to once again try to fight back, but Finch cuts his attempt short. He walks the rope like a cat, but ends up coming down on the mat and eats some kicks for Nick. Nick is now putting together his first offensive series in a while. He goes for a pin attempt but comes up short. Both guys are recovering now as the fans try to get some virus chants going. After another crazy spot from Nick Jackson again results in a near fall for the Young Buck member. The crowd went absolutely bonkers for that one, with chants carrying through the intimidating replays that are shown. The two continue to try to top each other previous spot, as just when you think they can't turn it up and electric bigger pops with their offense than they already have. They do exactly that. This is becoming a pay-per-view quality showdown as the near fall continues to get closer and closer as the match develops further. Nick Jackson with a standing German suplex while he and Ray Finch exchange kicks outside the ring ropes. But still on the ring apron, garners the first holy you-know-what fan chant of the evening. Nick Jackson comes in with a spiking facebuster after leapfrogging himself onto the ring from the ropes. He followed that up with a leaping frog into a Canadian destroyer for an extremely close near fall. That doesn't get the 3 either. But Nick Jackson gets from that directly into a fishing submission spot. Ray Finch, however, managed to fight his way to the ropes, forcing the hold to be broken. AEW chants shatter and spread throughout the arena now as Ray Finch starts to show signs of life and fights back as the pace of the action once again, and pick up instead of the square circle, leading to Finch connecting with a spinning muscle buster for the 1-2-3. Excellent match to kick off AEW this week. After the match, instead of the mutual respect being shown between the two, which is what it looks like was about to happen, Ray Finch turns his back in a tropical heel fashion, walks off as a sore winner. The winner of the match, Ray Finch. This match was good between Nick Jackson and Ray Finch. This match was good. Okay, moving on. Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida. This match was not that bad, but the AEW Women's Division is god awful. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. After a quick AEW merchandise website commercial, Britt Baker theme hits and now she comes for our second match of the evening here at AEW Dynamite. From there, Hikaru Shida theme hits and she makes her way out to face Britt Baker in a one-on-one action in the AEW Women's Division. The bell sounds and here we go. Each girl has their moments earlier with Shida, starting to gain the upper hand as we head our first commercial break of the evening. It is a split screen commercial that shows Shida continue to dominate the action as their commercials air. We return from the break to see Britt Baker's nose has been busted open hard way as her nostrils are free following with blood now as the action continues with Shida in control back on AEW Dynamite. Baker gets Shida into the corner. Shida throws up a boot as Baker goes for the clothesline. Shida takes control of the match, momentarily throwing Baker into the barricade. Shida grabs a chair and sets it up ringside, waving at Finch as she used it for a high flying knee to Baker. Shida drags Baker back to the top of the apron. Shida goes for the second turnbuckle, grabbing Baker by the hair. Baker grabs Shida's arm and drops her to the outside of the ring, attempting to pull Shida's arm with her. Baker jumps back in the ring with a face buster and a 2 count. Shida kicking out just in time. Back and forth between the two. Shida ends up on the outside of the rope, pendulum DDT by Britt Baker over the top in another failed pinfall. Baker lifts Shida back to her feet, fighting free out of neckbreaker performed by Britt Baker. Flying knee by Shida as she regains control of the match. Several elbows to the face of Britt Baker. Shida with 2 fall pin attempts, but Britt Baker counters with some short of submissions moves. Miss Shida pokes Baker in the eye, taking her to the mat and attempting to pin Baker. Kicks out. A few more failed pins attempts by Shida. Baker kicking out each time. Finally, a flying knee to the face of Shida in a pin for the 3 count and win. After the match, Baker looks upset as she crawls out of the ring, looking back at Shida once last time as she punches the mat. Rolling out, Shida holds up her kind stick in victory, holding her neck as she leaves the ring, walking up the ramp. The winner of the match, Hikaru Hikaru Shida. AEW, the AEW Dynamite does in Battle Royal. The music sounds of Hangman Adam Page. His pyro goes off behind him. Page makes his way down to the ramp. Fans cheer as he enters the ring. Okay. Alright. More when we come back from commercial break, as we see the split screen breaks as Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends come out. When we return, Billy Gunn is making his way to the ring as fans chant, "Holy you know what, holy you know what." Bodies are flying all over the place now. Some eliminations are already taking place before even establish who all is in the match. MJF is in the ring, is in there now, with Billy Gunn standing behind him. Jimmy Havoc, who has already been eliminated, has the staple gun and re-enters the ring. He is stapling everyone with the in sight as referees finally get him out of the ring and to the back. We head back to the break. That was a brutal by Jimmy Havoc stapling everybody. That was brutal. But let me continue. We return from break to see Shawn Spears, the chairman of AEW, interfere with a steel chair to help eliminate Joey Janela as replay are shown. Orange Cassidy is sitting in the ring chilling with his sunglasses on now, while Billy Gunn is knocking down everyone that moves. Orange Cassidy stands up and the crowd explodes. It's just Billy Gunn and Orange Cassidy standing toe to toe now. Cassidy puts his hands in his pocket and throws whippy kicks at Billy Gunn. He winds up for the final one. However, MJF grabs Orange Cassidy and eliminates him. Now as MJF shows off the crowd, he backs up and realizes Billy Gunn is standing behind him. MJF slaps him. Billy Gunn goes on crotch chops and says, "Suck it," before hitting a famouser on MJF. He goes to throw him out of the ring, but he doesn't get the elimination. As Billy Gunn goes over to finish the elimination, we see Rollo coming down to the ramp in a suit. This leads to Hangman Adam Page eliminating Billy Gunn. Kip Sabian, Chuck Taylor, Hangman Adam Page, and Jungle Boy are in the final four. Sabian is now eliminated, as is Taylor. We're down to who we think are our last two, Jungle Boy and Heyman Adam Page, for next week's Dynamite. But wait, we told that MJF was hiding under the ring and we was never eliminated. He pops up and yanks Jungle Boy out of the ring, leaving MJF and Hangman Adam Page as the final two. The bell sounds, and these are our final two. They square off next week on AEW Dynamite for AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring and the bragging rights of winning the first ever Dynamite AEW does in Battle Royal. The winners advance into the finals next week on AEW. Hangman Adam Page and MJF. Chris Jericho makes his huge announcement. This segment was good by Chris Jericho. We see the AEW World Heavyweight Champion as the leader of the Inner Circle, Le Champion. Chris Jericho backstage heading towards the ring for his advertised huge announcement. It's hype. Jim Ross final time before we head to another commercial break. As we return from the commercial break, Chris Jericho is making his way to the ring with a fellow member of the Inner Circle, Jack Hager. They get to the ring and Jericho begins his huge announcement. The huge announcement is Thanksgiving Day celebration with the Elite Champion next week in Chicago. As Jericho promised to get the thank you he is long on for AEW executives next week on AEW Dynamite. He is wrapping things up like it's as he is heading off the theme of the so-called uncensored hits the loudspeaker in the building. From there, the SCU makes their way to the ring, as the announcers reminds us that the SCU members Scorpio Sky is heading Jericho his first official loss in All Elite Wrestling in the AEW Tag Team Champion Contest, one last episode of AEW Dynamite. Sky brags about beating Jericho, saying he partied all weekend. His DMs has been blowing up on Twitter. He says even got a date with his high school sweetheart Melody. The fans chant Melody, Melody, as Jericho says he sees pics of Melody and she has golden fat since high school. Sky says he's like big butts, he cannot lie. That was a funny part. The crowd pops. Finally, things get going with a match is agreed upon between Chris Jericho and Sky for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship on AEW next week. Jericho tricked into putting the title on the line as Sky pretending he isn't ready for the title shot. Jericho ends up blasting Sky with a cheap shot with leading an all-out brawl. Santana and Ortiz join the inner circle and their babyface beat down. Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy try to come out, even things up, but they get some punishment as well. Now Luchasaurus comes out and the inner circle retreats as we head to a commercial break. The Luchasaurus versus Peter Allen. We return from the break. The Luchasaurus is still in the ring. Jungle Boy and Marco are outside the ring as the Librans. Peter Allen will be going one-on-one against the big man returning from injury. This one doesn't last long at all. It takes literally less than 1 minute for a big Luchasaurus to pin a fishing touch on Alvin, taking the Librans and scoring the pinfall. The winner of the match, Luchasaurus. Pound and Power versus Private Eye. Not Private Eye, I'm sorry, Private Party. This match was good too. Santana and Ortiz are now as Pound and Powerful makes their way to the ring. They will be up in action against Mike Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, Private Party next. We are told of this match will be in honor of the late independent pro wrestler Matt Travis, who passed away over the weekend in a tragic accident. Power Party is now making their way through the velvet red rope on the entrance stage as Quinn and Cassidy head to the ring preparing for his tag team tilt. The bell rings, match begins. Wrist lock by Santana before watching Isaiah Cassidy. Both men back up. Cassidy gets Santana in the wrist lock. Santana counters, throwing Cassidy into the rope, falling into Cassidy with a big shoulder as he hits the rope. Santana exits through the ring after getting stunned by Cassidy. Santana plays the outside of the ring momentarily with Ortiz, and then re-enters the ring. Cassidy signs saying, "Come on," as Santana mocking and smiling. Quinn in the ring with Ortiz. Santana tag in. Santana with a Russian leg sweep on Quinn. Ortiz with a bridge for the win. Cassidy breaks it up. Quinn hand on the knee of Santana being stretched to his breaking point. Santana lifts Quinn to his feet. Santana with a standing vertical suplex, holding him midair and tagging Ortiz, who continues to hold him midair. All the blood rushing to the head of Quinn. Once again, Santana tags in, then again Ortiz. Finally drops him pin attempt. Quinn kicks out, trying to shake off the cobwebs of being upside from the almost minute and a half. Ortiz strips off the tails of Quinn. Quinn counters with elbows to the single Ortiz. Quinn on his trying to fight. Boston Crab by Ortiz on Quinn, tagging Santana, who jumps off the top rope, setting up for the double stomp. The ref makes Santana exit the ring. Quinn kicks Santana as the referee is trying to remove Cassidy from the ring. We go to break. As we come back from the break, Santana trying to pin Quinn, followed by a submission attempt. Then a big blow to the face of Quinn, who has been beaten and battering in the ring. Santana drags his nail back of Quinn, walking away but knocking Cassidy off the side of the ring before making his way to Ortiz for the tag. Ortiz tags Santana back in, who is holding Quinn in the air. Quinn flips over and tags Cassidy. Cassidy flips Santana and kicks Ortiz in the face on the outside of the ring. Then backflip into Ortiz in the outside by Cassidy. Cassidy over the top rope for the 1-2. Santana pulls for alternate leg. Quinn out of nowhere over. Turner landing on Santana. Quinn unable to hit the silly string because of all damage to his back. Powerbomb by Santana in a 2 count pin. Ortiz with a hanging cutter after a throw kick pin attempt on Cassidy, who kicks out. Both Santana and Ortiz looking shocked. Cassidy laying in the ring. Ortiz makes his way back into the ring with Nick Jackson's arms Ortiz. Cassidy with a big kick on Ortiz. Quinn helps Cassidy with the setup and slams with a pin on Santana. After the match, Dustin Rhodes makes his return in a case to help Private Party fight off in the 3-on-2 members disadvantages as Sammy Guevara and the teams of Pride and Powerful retreat for their post-match beatdown once the Natural enters the picture. The winner of the match, Private Party. The announcement for next week is announced that Cody will make his return to AEW Dynamite next week, that Pac and Kenny Omega will once again go one-on-one in the singles competition in Chicago. This joins Chris Jericho and Scorpio for the AEW World title and the AEW Dynamite dozen final 2 Diamond Ring match between Dynamite dozen Battle Royal last 2 standing MJF and Hangman Adam Page. Okay, Kenny Omega addressed Pac. Alright, we see Kenny Omega working out when he stopped to talk to the camera. He claims not to be a pro guy, nor a hardcore guy, but he said lately he's been doing these and other types of things he has never done before. He said people think he has lost the marbles and he feels like this comes from his loss to Pac. He says next week he has a chance for revenge. He resumes his workout as the camera fades away. The AEW Dynamite main event is up next. We see Jon Moxley pacing backstage. He prepared for this week's AEW Dynamite main event against Darby Allin. Meanwhile, we see Darby Allin preparing by finishing up his face paint job in the mirror. We head to the commercial break as our AEW main event between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin is up next. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. They tore the house down. This match was good and brutal, but Darby Allin and Jon Moxley tore the house down on this one. That's all I gotta say. Justin Roberts announced the main event of the evening from the center of the crowd cheering, scheduled for one fall. A video package is played showing a body bag crowd suffering across multiple crowds with the intros MOX written by Red Cross. The Darby Allin music plays as 5 men are seen carrying a body bag with MOX written on it. It is dropped off at the top of the ramp. He appears unzipping the body bag, exposing a skateboard, followed by the Darby Allin stepping out. Darby Allin skates down the ramp, dragging the body bag behind him, and then drops both items and jumps into the ring. Jon Moxley music sounds next as he makes his way throughout the crowd as usual before Moxley can't even make his way into the ring. Darby Allin comes flying through the air of the ring into Moxley. Still to come, with no bell sounding. Darby Allin throws Moxley over the barricade. Darby Allin once again flying over the barricade into Moxley. Moxley counters and goes to belly suplex by Moxley, leaving Darby Allin sitting on the outside of the ring. Moxley comes back and throws Darby Allin into the ring. The referee signal to officials begin the match. The bell rings. Darby Allin gets back to his feet with a stun gun dropkick on Moxley. Darby Allin flips Moxley and jumps to the top rope, going for a cross bow. Jon Moxley just shake him off and not falling. A double floated dropkick on Darby Allin by Jon Moxley. Moxley climbs to the second rope, looking out onto the crowd as Darby Allin is face first in the center of the ring. Jon Moxley jumps up and kicks his feet up at the top turnbuckle, once again leaving Darby Allin laying in the ring. Jon Moxley throwing Darby Allin around in the ring like a rag doll with ease as we go to commercial. We come back to Jon Moxley holding Darby Allin in the crippler crossface. Darby Allin finally grabbed the bottom rope after the itching across the mat. Darby Allin instantly with a quick movements and attempts to take Jon Moxley out. Only Darby Allin falling over then top rope. Moxley getting caught up in the ropes. Darby Allin stomping the hand of Moxley, then jumping out of throwing Jon Moxley into the stars on the outside of the ring. Darby Allin breathing momentarily, then goes back to throwing hands at Moxley, slamming his hand again on the stairs before entering the ring again. Jon Moxley makes his way to the side of the ring. Darby Allin kicks him to the floor before he can get in. Darby Allin stepping on the fingers of Moxley. Moxley counters, knocking and Darby Allin backwards, looking to have fallen in the odds position. Jon Moxley turns Darby Allin inside out with a suplex. Darby Allin crawls to the edge of the ring. Jon Moxley with a big knee to the face. Darby Allin knocking him to the outside. Moxley throws Darby Allin in the ring. Moxley picks up the body bag, losing focus momentarily as Darby Allin flies through the ropes onto Moxley. Darby Allin drags the body bag into the ring. Moxley counters and drags Darby Allin into the body bag, zipping him up inside of the bag. Darby Allin moving around inside the bag as Moxley begins to stomp the bag over and over. The referee stops Jon Moxley unzipped the bag as the crowd boos. Jon Moxley drags Darby Allin to his feet and necklace. Darby Allin bites the hand of Moxley and then a stunner on Moxley. Moxley once again counters Darby Allin, slips out and rolls Moxley up with his feet over his head, only a 2 count. Darby Allin once again with a quick roll up wrist lock again, only a 2 count. Darby Allin makes it to the top rope and coffin drop right into the hand of Moxley with a rear neck sleeper into a 2 count. Moxley to the top turnbuckle. Darby Allin trying to bite Moxley again. Moxley bites Darby Allin's head in a powerbomb, followed by the 3 count pin to win. That was this week's AEW wraps up. Thanks for joining as we see you here again next Wednesday right here live at AEW Dynamite results covers from the Scars counter. The winner of the match, Jon Moxley. This match was good between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, but there was one spot that Jon Moxley hit a double arm DDT off the top ropes and Darby Allin's head landed. I thought his neck was broken. That's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my AEW Dynamite review and results, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think of AEW Dynamite. And I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later. And I'm out of here.